Oh no, Dad, we've had a shocker. We're going through our Game Week 1 predictions. The Premier League has taken some turns, and some teams are stronger than others.
Well, it has to start with Friday night. Liverpool 4, AFC Bournemouth 2. Probably the game of the week. Liverpool went 2-0 up. Bournemouth came back, and then late on, Chiesa and Salah. Brilliant advert for the game, mostly.
I predicted Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0. You predicted Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 1.
Ooh.
And that 2-goal difference actually got you an extra point in our Prem predictions tally. Now, if you're also taking part in Prem predictions, let me know how many points you're on. If you cheat, it takes the fun out of it. You gained a point on me there because the full-time score was a 6-goal thriller, 4-2. But for me, the best player, Hugo Ekitike. What a signing, not just at Wembley in the Community Shield, also on that Friday night at Anfield. I think they're onto something.
I'm going elsewhere for my man of the match, Theo, and I'm going to talk this one through.
Wow.
Antoine Semenyo.
Oh, wow.
Not only did he get 2 goals, a second of which was sublime, but before that, he was racially abused by a Liverpool fan who was thrown out at half-time. And to overcome that abuse and to go out and score 2 goals, and until the 88th minute, it looked like that might have earned a point. Semenyo, man of the match. But I also look at the Liverpool team. Gakpo, Theo, 1 goal, 3 key passes, 1 big chance created. There's some good performances there.
FPL users have been messaging me, DMing me, saying, Theo, do I sell Florian Wirtz? Do I buy Hugo Ekitike? What do you think going forward is the best option for Liverpool? Would you say sell Wirtz, Dad, or hold on because we know there's a player in there?
It depends upon the structure of your team. And I think if you've got Mo Salah, Theo, and you watched that game as an FPL player, and I told you, watch till the last minute, didn't I? Because Salah does this. He comes in the 85th, 90th, 95th minute, and he'll get you a goal. He's been brilliant for, 5 or 6 seasons?
Absolutely.
He'll be brilliant again. So if you've got Salah, would you have Ekitike?
And especially now, there's high-flying Tottenham players, Sunderland players, which we're going to go on to. What's the next game?
Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. Now, we both thought the home team would win this one narrowly, but it was an awful game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I watched it through, Theo.
I did as well.
I thought that Villa were flat. I thought that Newcastle were good at times, but they lacked a man called Alexander Isak.
And they were singing about him. We don't care about Isak. He doesn't care about us. All we care about is NUFC. It felt like a bit of an affair.
Yeah.
It feels like Isak's just sneaked out this year. The team doesn't look the same going forward. It's like Anthony Gordon's taking shots from range. Elanga's trying to gel into the team but needs more time. The forward line wasn't good enough for Newcastle. They've been rejected again and again the transfer window for the players that they want. By not getting your business done and offering the players exactly what they want, you're showing the problems. They could have had more chances going forward in this game. It was actually there for the taking.
Newcastle were the better team. They had a lot more shots, but it all came down to not finishing your dinner. I've got to say, I feel so sorry for those Newcastle fans. That they're a brilliant lot there, and for Isak to be doing what he's doing at the moment, it is an absolute disgrace. One of the best strikers in Europe, full stop.
A Newcastle fan actually wrote to me, who was in the away end, and said, this doesn't have the same charm as last year.
No.
We're not singing the same way as we did before. But overall, during the game, there wasn't much chanting from that away end, and that's not like the clubs from the Northeast. If you look at the other side of the Northeast this weekend, they had a home fixture, and let's just say they made it rocking. But for Villa, Dad, not much transfer business done for them either. We both predicted them to score twice. And based off that, you'd think Ollie Watkins would get 1.
I wouldn't have him, Theo. It worries me that Villa have not spent, so they looked flat. It looked like the same team from last year, and the players almost looked knackered. And going back to Newcastle, my man of the match was probably Fabian Schär, because defensively, Newcastle looked good. I can see them getting a few clean sheets this season.
So yeah, overall, not a classic. Konza got a red card, which hurt everyone's FPL, but Anthony Gordon was clean through there.
Yes.
So that could have been a goal. It was a clever red card, maybe from Konza.
Brighton and Hove Albion against Fulham. Now, we both expected a narrow Brighton win, Theo, so Fulham exceeded expectations.
They
a
did.
very, very late equaliser.
Yeah, they didn't have many chances. It was very Marco Silva away from home, smash and grab, R9 at the back post, sneaking it in, celebrating in front of the away fans in 90+3 or whatever it was. I was actually impressed by Brighton's chances.
Yes.
They were good on the break. They had pace. You could see Minter had a moment where he should have scored at the back post. Mitoma could have done better with one of his headers and also when he was clean through. And Matt O'Reilly in the middle, he also took his penalty well. Rutter won that penalty as well. He did good to get into a position. It was unfortunate for Brighton. They thought they had 3 points guaranteed, but a 1-0 lead is never enough.
But you know what, Theo? Full credit to Fulham. They keep going right to the final whistle.
None of their away fans left, which was important. And they were chasing that 1 goal, and they kept it to 1 goal because they defended well. Emil Smith-Rowe still looks like he's had a few pies, but could have done better with his shot. Apart from that, Fulham took their chance.
Do you know what? I'm going to go man of the match, Van Heck at the back, Theo. I'm going to give it to a centre-back.
They just conceded last minute, Dad.
92 touches, Theo, and he won almost all of his duels.
Fair enough.
A really fine centre-back.
I'm going to go Rodrigo Muñoz, right place at the right time to equalise like that, and he stayed at the club, living in London, loving it, and he gets my man of the match.
Sunderland 3, West Ham United 0, and I think we need to give a big apology to every single Sunderland fan.
That's correct.
We underestimated you. Now, this is gold dust. I said in the last video that a win for a team like Sunderland, or for a Leeds, or for a Burnley, is gold dust, especially when it's against one of your rivals.
Absolutely. Game week 1, you get off to a great start, it creates momentum, and it reminds everybody the Black Cats are back in the Premier League. I predicted a 2-0 loss to Sunderland at home, which is shocking looking back. You predicted a 1-0 loss. I was more wrong than you. We were both wrong. There was a lot of wrongdoing in the North East.
Though, Theo, West Ham, they had more of the possession. Statistically, it was fairly even, but they couldn't finish their dinner.
Well, Malik
and that was the key.
In my FPL, it was a great defensive clearance. I believe it could have been Sealt or Reynaldo. Someone cleared it really well off the line. They deserve credit towards our man of the match, which we're going to award soon. I wouldn't actually say man of the match. I'd say team of the match. They delivered as an 11. It wasn't just a one-player job. One of the centre-backs, I believe, that came off the bench created the first goal, and then it was an amazing cross from Adingra for the second where Mayenda scored.
Yeah.
And then Wilson Isidore took the third goal so nicely, set up by Talby. So about 6 players contributed to this Sunderland win. But what I will say is the best fans of the Premier League this weekend was in the Stadium of Light.
Yeah.
Every single fan for a majority of that match was standing up, singing their hearts out, and they made so much noise. It was difficult for the EastEnders, the Cockneys. This is why I think Stadium of Light is going to potentially keep them up. That home form, if they can make it rocking, it is a 12th man more than any other club in the Premier League.
Do you know what, Theo? I asked a Sunderland fan a few years ago about the team and about the support. He said, you know what? We don't have much else in our town. That's his words and not mine. So when it comes to our football club on a Saturday, it matters more than life itself.
When I talk about Thogdad bullet headers, Ballard, I mean, he did a great job of representing your journey. Thogdad bullet headers have never got more Ballard than that, Northern Irish centre-back.
Do you know what? I'm going to give him man of the match because he's a centre-back. He got a goal.
He gave
got
one
a
of
clean
these.
sheet. Absolutely brilliant, Sunderland.
I'm going to give it to Mayenda, but I wanted to give it to the whole team.
Tottenham Hotspur 3, Burnley 0. We both predicted 2-0 wins to Spurs, so we weren't far off.
Right.
Richarlison was the story of the day.
He was.
Brennan Johnson got the other one. But you know what, Theo? Credit to Burnley. 30 shots, of which 14 were from Burnley. It was a really good game.
It was an amazing game, and actually Spurs have surprised me. They're linked with Eze, but they had so much creativity from this game from Kudus and Pedro Porro and other players with great crossing and ability to create. But at the top of it, maybe Tottenham just played better without Solanke because Richarlison, in his new number 9 role, it just seems like the whole squad is refreshed ever since Heung-min Son has left.
Yeah.
I feel like they might have benefited from getting rid of the big names.
Yes.
Tottenham are now a squad, and with Thomas Frank, he's guaranteeing the focus is on 11 players and not 1. And that is why Spurs are changing. It builds them and goes, whoever we play next, we're going to go at you, and we've got acrobatic ability. You know, we've seen that overhead kick. I think we have to say it right now. That's our man of the match.
You've got to say that, Richarlison man of the match. But I tell you what, Theo, Mo Kudus got 2 assists and 5 key passes. He was brilliant. So if you look at Richarlison, Johnson, Kudus, that is a superb front three.
I'm going to say Kudus is my FPL shout of the week. I got 9 points from him. A lot of people didn't pick Spurs players. My dad was laughing at me. He said, Kudus, Van de Ven, why have you got all these Spurs players in your team? They go and win 3-0, and they give me the different. That's the reason I picked up, I think, 65 points this week. I'm still around 7,800th in the Thogdad Super League. But I am going to shout out the top 7 who all got over 100 points plus. So well done to Spurs. You've over-exceeded in Game Week 1, and good luck with your new squad. But for Burnley, Scott Parker, very worried.
Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Manchester City 4. I watched this game. We both knew that City would win, but my goodness, not by this margin.
Incredible.
And it was normal service being resumed with Haaland getting 2 goals, but also Reinders and Cherky scoring.
But the big story of the day is that my brother dropped a masterclass on his Premier League debut again for Man City. I am so happy. Ederson's linked with moving away, so for FPL users writing to me, I would look at James Trafford. The realistic scene is they're not going to get Donnarumma. It's a very expensive wage budget. They're going to have to pay a lot. And would you really pay a lot when you see how Traff played from this game? They've got to invest in the youth. You can see that Nick O'Reilly's coming through, Oscar Bob, many new players. James Trafford's one of them. He was from the City Academy. He's now ready for the first team. He's played in the Premier League before. And listen, next week against Tottenham at home, let's see if he can maintain it.
But let's talk about the City defence in general. They were all rock solid. And then in midfield, Nico Gonzalez.
Yes.
We don't talk about him very often. 98 touches. He had 11 ground duels and won 10 of them. That was superb.
The City scouts have done well.
Haaland, and I love Haaland's stats, Theo. He had 13 touches, 2 goals, 2 big chances missed.
I know.
So he does miss them, but my goodness.
No, he's hungry again.
He's hungry again.
And a lot of people thought not picking him in FPL because of the cost was the right decision. You need to make that changed right now. If you want to be up there in your leagues, you need Haaland. City are looking ruthless, all because of Reinders. Reinders, their new signing, the Dutch Indonesian. I'm going to shout him out. On the ball, one of the best in the Premier League.
Yeah.
His touch, and then to chip it over for one of the goals, deluxe. There's so much in that team going forward. The real test is defensively, can they maintain it in the big games?
Do you know what? I think they can, Theo. And Reinders, he got 1 goal, he got 1 assist, he had 2 key passes. He's my man of the match.
Do you know what's funny? I'm going to give my man of the match to James Trafford. Maybe it's a bit biased, but he kept a clean sheet.
Bit biased.
He made a few
3
good
saves. He did what he had to do.
Listen,
but there was better players elsewhere.
I will admit there's bias, but I've credited all the players. Trafford is my man of the match, and for Wolves, not much to say. But respect to the fans, because they stuck till the end. And do you know what? They were singing Jota's name because Jota's wife was in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
And they stood there and sung the whole game, even 4-0 down. So you know what, Wolves fans? Credit to you.
Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0 in the London derby. We expected narrow Chelsea wins, but in reality, Eberechi Eze, we thought he'd scored, but this new rule, Theo.
Oh my goodness.
When you've got 3 players in the wall, a player from the other team cannot be within a metre.
I'm
Who
sorry.
knew that?
If you get bodied like that, I'm sorry, it's your own fault. We're footballers here.
But it's not, no, it's not about the
athletes.
body. It's
Oh,
about
really?
him being within a metre of the wall. It's as simple as that.
Are you serious?
It's nothing to do with the bodying. The players don't know this because in other games, players were piling into the wall. You have to learn from that. Every single player in the league has to know the rule now. Also, Sunday League players there. If you're playing Sunday League,
Is this rule
that
now a
referee?
thing?
Well, I assume it is.
Unbelievable. I don't know how this is. Like, football's just changing every day. Outside of that, I thought Davinson Sanchez had a good game, making some important saves. Mateta, where he chested it off, that was really good. I watched this game actually before the Old Trafford. It was on the big screen. There wasn't any food or drink in my hospitality, but thankfully I got to watch the game on telly. Didn't have much else to do apart from my Cadbury's chocolate they gave me. Shocking. Go watch the video, link in the description. But having said all that, I thought Chelsea were poor. They won the Club World Cup. They're probably knackered. I thought against a good defence, Chelsea are going to struggle to break them down.
Well, this is my worry about Chelsea this season. We know they've got a lot of very good players, Theo, but will they all gel together and win games? Liverpool last season won the Premiership because they won games. They turned draws into wins.
Yeah.
We saw that on Friday night. And last season, Arsenal didn't win the Premier League because there was too many draws. I think Chelsea will have too many draws. Having said that, Reece James, he's fit. He's back in the team. I think 95 touches, 3 key passes.
Yeah.
Moses Caicedo. Those 2 I thought were my standouts. I'm going to give man of the match to Reece James.
I think we're going to have to give it to a Crystal Palace player because they fought so well. I thought the situation with Guehi was weird. He was the reason the goal got disallowed. And then right at the end, Oliver Glasner went in for a handshake with Guehi, and Guehi was walking off. And Glasner was on the pitch like, what?
Right.
And I think that's an absolute disgrace. I get that you want to leave, right? But there's absolutely no right to not shake your manager's hand. It's a real sad situation. I'm going to have to give it to a Chelsea player too. I'm not giving it to Sanchez because his distribution was awful. I'm going to give it to Chalobah. Chalobah defended well. Chelsea fans were writing to me saying, yeah, he was really solid. He did well to hold out in that position. And going forward, they weren't good enough. But at the back, not bad.
Nottingham Forest 3, Brentford 1. Now, Theo, you predicted a 2-goal margin to Forest, and you were right. And it was all about that man, evergreen Chris Wood. He does it every single year, doesn't he?
Yeah, I predicted 2-0 and they won 3-1. So I was actually lucky Brentford got that consolation at the end to give me that extra point. I think we're drawing overall so far, but there's another match tonight. Yeah, I thought Forest would beat Brentford. And I remember saying on my predictions that Keith Andrews is going to get sacked by Christmas. I might have to change that to sacked by Halloween because he is awful. 3-0 down at halftime. You got Chris Wooded. I mean, 2 goals.
Yeah.
And also Morgan Gibbs-White, incredible cross for the Dan Ndoye goal. The new signing, Premier League debut, brilliant. The Swiss man is showing he can do it in the Premier League. But for Brentford, it's worry time.
It is, Theo. Now, the better team won this game, and Chris Wood, 2 goals from 16 touches. That's all you need to do, and he took his goals really well. So it could be a good season for Forest, but Brentford, I worry.
Yeah, not good at all. There's not much to say, but I want to give a big shout out to Elliot Anderson for that incredible through ball for the 3rd goal on Chris Wood's goal.
Yeah.
And by the way, Chris Wood at his age, to still be doing what he's doing, and on the turn, to take away that 3rd goal, that's the reason he's my man of the match. Chris Wood, you scored a brace.
All day long.
No one else. But Elliot
long.
Anderson, great shout, great ball.
Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. We both predicted a narrow Arsenal win, so effectively we were right. Now, Theo, talk me through this, because you were there, and it's fair to say Man United, more possession, more shots, but they just couldn't capitalise.
Usually the saying is last but not least, but I'd say last and least.
Ooh.
This was a terrible opening top 6 clash. I mean, for the neutral, not much going on. The fans weren't really up for it. United is still singing Glazers out chants in the stands, and the Arsenal away end, I mean, obviously they're delighted with 3 points, but it wasn't the best performance ever. And their new transfers don't add a lot. I mean, it doesn't scream to me that this is the Arsenal team to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, who looks sluggish, he looks like he's had a big bender in the summer, found out his new contract wages at Arsenal and he's gone out on the piss. And then it looks like Madueke. I mean, I never really thought he was worth 50 million. I probably wouldn't pay anything for him. Every wage you give out to him, I think that's a loss.
Theo,
it's not
Arsenal
exciting.
won this game. They got 3 points
I know,
at Old
Dad.
Trafford. Calafiori.
United, Arsenal should go out there and look like a Premier League winning side. Based off that, they didn't. I actually think United were the better team. And Mbeumo Cunha connected well together. Cunha's got that nice bit of pace, beat his man a few nice times. I thought Dorgu was very unlucky to not score. It bounced off that post. He took that chance well on the left. He needs to have a bit more confidence. Awkward player, but a good player. I know he watches the videos, so big up. Thank you for subscribing.
My man of the match, I'll go straight to it, was Raya. He made 7 saves, one of which was stupendous. Also, Bruno Fernandes, I thought, was excellent.
Excellent.
5 key passes.
And connected well with new signings, which is not easy to do.
Bomo, his very first touch was superb. He is a very good player. But, Theo, I want to remind you of the score. Man United 0, Arsenal 1.
This is game week 1.
Sometimes, Theo, the secret to being successful is to win dirty. You'll come off the pitch, you've got 3 points, but you're feeling, oh, we should have done so much better.
They've won dirty as if they've gone to a team that's better than them and had to come away with a win. They should come here and smash them. They've got a much better team with much better chemistry. And that's why you finish second, because when push comes to shove, there are other teams out there in the Premier League who are that little bit better and will smash games like this. My man of the match is Declan Rice. Unbelievable set piece. Great cross.
For me, he had an off game.
If it wasn't for him, that game would have been 0-0. And that is the final game. Leeds-Everton. Enjoy tonight. We'll discuss that in our Game Week 2 predictions here on the second channel. Subscribe for more, Thog Dad. And that's it.
That's it.
Premier League Game Week 1, complete.